I do think that a lot of the hate that I get from the left has to do with like the performative masculinity thing. Oh, speaking of, Markinator with the $5. Thought Slime just handed out his 2021 IBs awards, and you appear in it here. All right, let's go. Where are the memes at?
Best takedown of a ding-dong. We like to do this. Plenty of ding-dongs in the world that need a good owning with facts and logic and reason, etc. It's a staple in BreadTube. It lets you siphon some asshole's popularity to show people who are interested in said asshole why they're a asshole. The nominees are Sean, Jimmy Dore's anti-vaccine lies; Professor Flowers, the master debater, Vaush on black nationalism;
I remember that critical takedown.
and We're in Hell, featuring Unlearning Economics, the cruel optimism of Steven Pinker.
I love to be put alongside Jimmy Dore and Steven Pinker. The cruel optimism of Steven Pinker is a really good video, by the way.
And the IB goes to Professor Flowers. Fuck.
Yeah, I fucking thought so. There we go. Nice. Thought Slime has some weird obsession with me that I really don't get, but yeah.
Look, it's not that I think she doesn't deserve it. I think she does, obviously, or else I wouldn't,
I'm honored.
Have picked her.
Does that go to me? I guess it goes to her.
But
yeah.
Because none of this should have happened. It's deeply troubling that any of it happened. She didn't set out to take down a ding-dong, but rather to explain black nationalism, a position that she does not even hold, but does understand, in good faith, and was then harassed, bullied, and slandered for it.
I feel like my main issue here, after all of this, is that you guys didn't go far enough in harassing a queer woman of color. I feel like you guys could have gone way harder with that, you know? That's my main issue. I feel like the logistics here just didn't pan out. Like, you could have gone way harder. That's the main issue, you know? Honest. Oh yeah, same shirt. What's up? That's consistency right there. Wait, she claims to be a black nationalist? Yeah, wait, doesn't she literally... Wait, hold on. Thought Slime is literally conflating this in the same way Professor Flowers accused me of conflating it. I'm pretty sure that Professor Flowers identifies as a black nationalist. It's a black separatist that she lied about and actually does believe but pretended not to believe. But right now, Thought Slime is saying, "Were you doing the same thing? You, no. She does believe in. Well, actually, she believes in black separatism. Keep in mind, we're on like 3 layers here with like what, you know, Whitey Thought Slime thinks, and then what is the actual thing that they believe, and then what the thing they lie about believing is. It's like dealing with Fuentes over here. Jesus.
People were calling her a Nazi for trying to explain a historical liberatory struggle for marginalized people who she...
Marginalized people. Ah, you mean the Aryan Volk from the Jewish scourge? That's what she believes. Not me, by the way. Not me.
Didn't even agree with. Simply by trying to correct misinformation, she exposed an ugliness at the heart of the way that white leftists look down on and talk over people of color. The way that conflict can be cultivated and weaponized.
2022, baby. It's the ableism arc and the talking down to people of color arc. That's what we got.
To create bottom-tier personality-based content. To the loudest go the spoils. Fuck anyone who gets in their way. And right now you're probably all mad in the comments saying, why are you being so mean to Vaush? And
Wait, hold on. Why the fuck would your audience say that? What? People vastly overstate the reach of my audience. Anywhere online, if you say fuck Vaush, you're going to get applause, okay? The only place that's not the case is my goddamn audience, you know?
It is not my intent to be. I'm not trying to single out Vaush in particular. Obviously, he and I have a history of mutual animosity. And to be clear, I do think he behaved disgustingly. But I think the reason that these...
This is the thing, by the way. They never actually say for what. Like what, though? I talked with Professor Flowers. It was like, I was very calm with her. I treated her like the baby-brained moron that she is. You know, I have very gloves on. Many layers of gloves. Like mittens with how many layers I put on, you know? I was very kind. Yeah, I gave her therapy, for fuck's sake. I gave her a free therapy session. I just, like, what did I do? What position did I hold that they take umbrage with? Because the only position that she and I couldn't come to terms on is she thought it was okay to kill or ethnically cleanse millions of white South Africans, and I thought that you shouldn't do that. That was like that was the critical That was the critical disagreement right there. That was the big hit. Why is it so hard for people to say ethnic cleansing is bad? Well, the issue is that Thought Slime belongs to the group of white lefties who are obsessed with racial cuckoldry. Like they are the biggest. When conservatives talk about white guilt, they're talking about an incredibly marginal fraction of people on the left, and it's entirely Thought Slime. There are people on the left who legitimately do not believe, if they're white, that they have a right to second guess non-white people. And there are people like that. There are men like this with women, and there are cis people like this with trans people. And they're basically just huge cucks. And they get walked all over by the minority groups with the worst opinions because that's where they get away with it easiest. That's because that's like people like Professor Flowers, right? Like if you're like racist against white people, or if you're like an honest to God anti-white racist, the easiest crowd to like work with are the self-hating white people. That's incredibly easy to work with them because like they'll just agree with whatever the fuck you say. They'll call anyone who disagrees that you're racist, and they're like your shield, right? They do the same thing for you that black conservatives do for like conservatism. It's really easy stuff.
These videos are so important aren't because they expose Vaush, but because it could just as easily have been me doing that. Me being the one behaving this way.
See? No! Exactly! This is it! It's performative self-hatred. This is exactly what I mean. He can't even just condemn my behavior. It has to be a we the whites thing, Well, the real reason that I think this is good is because, as whites, we're all vulnerable to this. Like, no, this is what I mean. It can't just be a denunciation of political positions they don't like. This is an apology for being white right now, which is crazy. I can't imagine being, like, apologetic over this shit, man. It's fucking wild. I don't know. Man.
I like to think I wouldn't, but the fact that I could, the fact that my audience, who are also largely Vaush's audience, would let
Is that true? Well, hold on. I feel like, didn't Thought Slime recently tweet saying that there's a large audience overlap or something like that? I think I remember that. Yes, it's true. Oh, we got links and everything. Oh my god. YouTube analytics occasionally reminds me the channel I share the most audience with is his being Vaush. Oh yeah, they were complaining about me a while ago. That is kind of wild. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere all the time, And by the way, they're Vaush viewers watching your content, Thought Slime, not Thought Slime viewers watching my content. Remember.
Let me get away with it. And that's a problem.
Can you check in the YouTube stats? No, I can't, because it's not true on my end. This is what it means to have the GigaChad community that I'm a part of. Thought Slime doesn't even show up on my adjacent channels list, which means that this is basically like virile Vaush channel seed. You know what I mean? Like all the channels adjacent to me have my dude showing up, but it's not the case the other way around. Most of my adjacent channels have to do with like other live streaming things. I think they're mostly like Hassan or Hassanabi clip channels or my own clip channels, I think. Where does it say? Analytics, audience. Yeah, here's the order. It's my second channel, the Vaush Pit. You should all sub, by the way. Hassan, Sam Cedar, Destiny, Daily Dose of Hassanabi, Secular Talk, David Pacman, and the rest of it is channels adjacent either to myself or Hassan. Oh, and the Young Turks and some more news. But that's the top 15.
This is not a Vaush issue, at least not exclusively a Vaush issue. This is not me beefing with the man, because it's a white leftist issue.
Man, I hope TS is doing okay, man. I can't imagine having takes this sort. Yeah, are you okay? Jesus, fuck. I was at my lowest level as a left-leaning person when I felt like the issue with the world was the essential behavior of non-marginalized groups. You know what I mean? But some people never grow out of that. In a way, it's almost psychotically egotistical, because what people like Thought Slime are really looking for is the affirmation of minorities. It's egotistical and I think rather patronizing. Like the thing they want the most, the thing they crave the most, I think, is to be told like, you're the good white or whatever, as their head is like cradled, by I guess non-white person, whatever. By, let's just say Terry Crews, because he's like a real big paternal guy, like he's like big, he'd probably be comfy in his lap. Let's just go with that. It's just pick me shit, yeah. It'd be awesome to talk with TS. We will literally never talk with TS. There's 0% chance of that ever happening. I'm like in TS's mind, I'm like I assassinated Archduke Ferdinand, you know. In TS's mind, I'm pretty sure like I single-handedly did 9/11 or something. Yeah, Hitler too. I don't know. Assassinated. That's when the Pingu does it, kills you.
I too am a white leftist. I think a lot of white people get a little too comfortable viewing the situation as simply Vaush bad. This is a systemic problem of white.
The main problem with this, the main problem with this whole situation is too many people were blaming Vaush for Vaush's behavior instead of blaming white people for. That's what they're saying, by the way, right? They're saying like, well, I feel like a lot. My main problem with this is that they weren't essentializing this to the race of the guy I don't like enough.
White comfort being prioritized over BIPOC liberation and black.
I can't.
A lot of white people get a little too comfortable viewing the situation as simply Vaush bad. This is a systemic problem of white comfort being prioritized over BIPOC liberation and black liberation specifically. A problem of white people having all of the power and authority even within spaces supposedly dedicated to divesting them of that power and authority. Something that's easy to recognize when it comes from our ideology.
It's a really interesting way of putting it, that lefty spaces are about divesting white people of their power and authority. That is a very interesting, but I would never think to describe a progressive space like that. You know, oh, progressive spaces, that's where you have white people and men and cis people have less power. Like, that's just very, I mean, technically, like, relatively speaking, I guess that's true. That's not necessarily inaccurate. Equality would mean a lower proportional power for, you know, majority groups right now. But it is a very weird way of putting it forward. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like, you know, it's just a bit strange. It's more about a horizontal society, right? Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of how to put this. I don't know. It would be like, okay, we all agree that like contraception should be free and accessible to everyone, right? Like, that's super obvious, right? Like, super accessible, super, like, so for good family planning, okay. But it'd be like, imagine if somebody was like, you know, yeah, you know, people should want this so that like fewer black babies are born. And it's like, well, that would be a consequence, technically, of having readily available free contraception, but it is weird that that's how you're putting the point forward, you know, that it is odd that you would deliver it that way. We're belaboring the point here.
Ideological enemies, but often overlooked, sometimes deliberately, when it comes from our side. So, Lua gets this award. I wish she didn't. Or rather, I suppose I wish that she got it for her video about Tom MacDonald. That'd be nice. Wouldn't that have been more fun?
Did she agree with Tom MacDonald? What's the conclusion to that one?
Rap in that video. That's where we could be. We could be talking about that, but instead, we've got to talk about this. And side note,
are we done? Are we good?
If you have a problem with any of what I've said here, take it up with me and not her. She's put up with a lot of bullshit about this already, and
oh yeah, sure, I'd totally be down. Yes, you could, if we can talk about it if you want. I'm already done with her, I guess. Yeah, just, it'll never happen. It'll never, guys, it'll never happen. Not in a million years. Don't they prefer they? Okay, wait, hold on. I thought Slime went by he, they, and it was the Peter Coffin who went by they, them. Thought Slime uses any all? Any all. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But people in chat, okay, yeah, all right. Are we good? I think we're good, right? Oh, top response being FD signifier is not a good omen for whatever we're getting from that. It was the person, everyone was like, hey, check out this video on Debate Bros from FD signifier, and I looked at 5 minutes of it and I didn't like it.
She did not ask to have this can of worms reopened. So if you've got a problem, or if you think that I've been too uncharitable to Vaush, then bother me about it so I can ignore you instead of her. Best video on a topic.
All right, feel like we're good. There we go. Nice.